Hey guys, this is Nathan with AMR Creative, and today I'm going to review the Sony FX6. This camera is a beast. It's a workhorse. If you're doing documentary, commercial, whatever, it's going to get the job done and it's going to look beautiful and you're going to look professional with this camera. Trust me. I've been doing this for 25 years, and this camera is my interview slash B-roll camera all day long. It's just very professional, very well put together. I love it. It's still very small. This body down here, it's a very, very small unit and it packs a big punch. I love, love, love this camera. Okay, looking at the body here. Up front, that's where we got our sensor. All right, look at that. Full frame. This is a full frame sensor. It's a full frame CMOS sensor to be exact. Its effective megapixels are 10.2. It doesn't have stabilization built in. So like the FX3 and the A7S3, they all have stabilization built in, but this does supply stabilization metadata if you did want to smooth things out in post. So that is a possibility. Okay, it also has dual sensitivity for its ISOs and for its base rates. Those are 800 and 12,800. So that's when you're shooting in like S-Log3, a flat profile, something that lacks contrast and saturation that you're going to add in later. You're going to record it flat in S-Log3, and that is going to be either set to 800 or 12,800 are the two best, most beautiful clear ISOs that you can shoot on. So that's what that ISO sensitivity is. This camera shoots a lot of different formats. It can shoot DCI 4K up to 60 frames per second. That's the wider 4K. Most of the time we're going to be using the 16:9 resolution. And when you do, which is UHD, when you're doing 4K UHD, this camera can go up to 120 frames per second. So you can really slow that down a lot and still get just stunning imagery. And if you want to bump it to 1080p, you can get 240 frames per second. So just depending on what resolution you're working in there, you have some options. Okay. Another great thing, another resolution that it can do, or that it has, is it can do raw output. So it can't record internally raw, but through the HDMI or SDI outs, you can do 16-bit raw output. Okay, you'll need like a Ninja V or something to handle the recording of that, but that is a possibility with this camera, which once again, you're looking at the size of this thing. It's got built-in VND, and it's got output of 16-bit RAW. That's pretty crazy. So I did briefly mention it, but this has VND. So that's kind of a little bit of a trade-off with the FX3 and the A7S3. Those do have internal stabilization, but they don't have VND or ND. So, you know, it's built in here. You don't have to put a filter on the end or anything like that. So it's just saving you speed, time, and efficiency. So you've got your hard stops here of ND, your presets, or you can have it variable, which is great. Or you can even have your ND set to auto. If it's a cloudy day, you're filming interviews outside, sun's coming out, peeking behind clouds, driving you insane, you're stopping, starting, just put on auto ND and it can ride the exposure for you. So that's really great. Another thing on this camera is it's got this wheel here, this quick selection wheel. I love that. So you can change your shutter, your ISO, your aperture. You can do it all real quick, and you can see it around in the viewfinder what you're toggling between and selecting. So it clicks and it spins. Really great. You got your menu button here. You gotta hard hold this for like a second or two to get your full menu to come up with. People have been stumped on that before, but you click it in for a second or two and your full menu is gonna pop up. You got your iris button here. You've got your ISO gain here, white balance here, and your shutter here. Down here, you got your gain switches, low, medium, high. You can set that in your menu, whatever you want those to be. And then you get your presets here for your white balance, and then your different options, your A and B. Back here, you can plug in your headphones. Your display button is here, turns information on and off that's coming through your viewfinder. Sometimes it's hard to see what you're actually filming because you have so many different things feeding you information off your screen. You can pop it on and off real quick. Here's your S and Q button for time lapse or slow motion. So this camera can record 120 frames per second in real time. So you have that ability internally, or you can have it already slowed down, and that's where the S and Q comes in. So it's just a different way of doing things. Or you can do a time lapse with this button, like I said. And then here you got a 2 and a 3. These are customizable, so you can make them whatever you want. Right back here you have your audio module, and this is going to work with your handle up here on the other side. I'll get to that in a second, but right now you can see you've got your dials right here. I can turn them up and down, and I can do it real time, which is kind of a problem with a lot of the mirrorless DSLRs. You don't get something dedicated like this that you can change while you're hearing it. You know, that's great. I love it. So that's where you got that action there. Down here is your power on and off. As we spin it towards the back here, I've got in there the BPU 35 battery that's already in there. That's what's powering it right now. And that comes with this kit, okay? And then you'll see right here, we also have our media door. Now, media does not come with this kit. You'll have to buy that separately. But it's a very, very interesting media slots back here because you have two options. Not only do you have two options to put cards in, but you have two different options of cards that you can put back there. You can put CF Express Type A cards. They're going to be a little more spendy, but it's what Sony recommends, and you can record every single codec with every single frame rate, the highest resolution possible, and it's going to work for you. Or you can put in good old regular SD cards. In my case, I use V90 cards that I can put in here. I can have dual slots. When one fills up, it pops onto the other one. But I use V90 cards. That's going to do every single codec, every single resolution, except for the very top one, which I never use anyways. So I save some money and I get a little bit more card space that way because of that, which helps me out quite a bit. But really neat. Two different options for media, two different slots. That's really cool. All right, let's keep spinning it around here. Back down to the bottom here, that's where your power plug, your power supply is going to be. And then right here, we've got our HDMI input. We've got our SDI output. And then we got our time code back here. It's either time code in or time code out. It could be the master or the slave, which is really cool. And then you got your little remote plug-in back there, which honestly I don't use that much. All right, up front here, we got this side handle, right? So you do it like that, you're filming, you got something to grip on, it's great. I'm holding this camera that doesn't weigh that much very easily with one hand with this side grip. The side grip can be rotated how you want it by this button up here. You also have a record button. You have a direct menu button, which can be customizable as well. And then you got a joystick / clicker. So you can left, right, up and down, or click in there. You've got your servo zoom right up here, right? You have like the 28 to 135 Sony zoom lens. You put that on there, zooms in and out for you. Works really, really good. Look at this, we got a focus mag button up here. This can also be set up to whatever you want. And then we got a little aperture wheel up here, so you can work on your aperture with this finger if you needed to take it up or lower it, whatever you need to. And then hidden back up in here, there's another button that is customizable as well. It's really hard to see, but you can customize it. There it is. It's right up in here. So another button that you can customize. Okay. There's a look at that aperture wheel a little bit better. But ergonomically, really, really, really great camera. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the handle up top. So this handle also deals with audio as well. You can see right here, I've got my input 1 and my input 2. These are full XLR audio inputs. So really great, really handy, very professional. All right, I like that they're full-size XLRs. I can't stand micro XLR or anything like that. This is the real deal. Anybody around you is going to have something to help you out if you're missing a cable. It's XLR. That's great. Up here, you also have a place to put your shotgun microphone, so you can pick up gnat sounds, whatever. It's great. I love that. This handle, there's a lot going on up here, okay? There is a hot shoe connection right here. I use a Sony dual receiver, and it's got a hot shoe connection. So I don't need cables. I don't need my receiver to have cables to go in to plug into the side XLR ports. No, got rid of those cables. So it's one less like point of failure when you're doing audio and like time's happening, you're working with a celebrity or something, everybody's nervous already and you're having bad audio. You're like, is it the cables coming off the receiver? Is it the lavalier itself that's got a short in it? What is it? Well, you don't have to worry about the audio cables. I just plug in my dual receiver straight to hot shoe. It powers the unit and it transmits the audio right into the camera. So that is super, super, super helpful. Anytime I have sit-down interviews, I'm grabbing this camera and it's just so handy in those situations. Right here, we also have a zoom rocker, as well as you have those PZ lenses. You can zoom in and out. We got a selection wheel here again, record button, hold function if you don't want somebody messing up what you've got set up. You can set your hold, and you have a 7 and 8 programmable up here, which is also very, very, very helpful. Let's see, what else do we got up here? Oh, we also have a bunch more screw threads, quarter 20 that you can plug into, and the body itself also has some things to screw into, so you can reconfigure this different ways, which is also very helpful. And I guess that brings us to our viewfinder up front. So this is just tape. I've got my phone number and stuff there. I'm just trying to protect my personal information, so if you see that throughout the video, that's what that's about. All right, we open that up, a little sunshade that comes with it, and there you go. You know, like I said, once again, up here we have our wheel. Helps us select stuff. I can click on it. Just really handy, really, really ergonomic, and I just can't say enough about this camera. It has been a workhorse for me. I mean, I put this thing through a lot of crazy locations, a lot of temperatures, and it's worked flawless for me. So if I were you, I'd pick one up. If you're doing a professional video shoot and you need a little bit of a wow factor as well, this camera will do it, and it's going to give you the most amazing footage in the size of a camera in this size, less than 2 pounds. So I highly recommend it, and I hope that you go pick one up as well.